Caloroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Jonnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Some good ones from late night. Stephen Colbert said China has a good reason to want to talk to America, and it's cash. For the past few years, China's economy has been struggling with anemic consumer spending and high youth unemployment. It's gotten so bad that second graders can't get a job at the iPhone factory. Love it. New topic, Seth Meyers. Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy denied claims that he elbowed Republican Congressman Tim Burchett in the back and added, "If I hit somebody, they would know I hit him." Seth said, "I assume because his fist would bruise." Colbert said, "If I hit him, he'd be on the ground. Then I'd kick him and I'd take his bike and his Pokemon cards and his girlfriend would be my girlfriend and then people would like me." By the way, Leslie Jones hosting The Daily Show this week. Have you heard anything about it? Me neither. Jason Alexander discussed the Seinfeld reunion. Jason was at a celebrity poker tournament and got asked about this, and he said, "No one called me." There's only one reason for that rumor. Apparently, at the end of some stand-up thing, Jerry went, "Larry and I are thinking of doing something." Good for you. I don't know anything about it. No one called me. He said that in a joking and warm-spirited tone. I'm glad they added that. Otherwise, I would have thought there was some beefage going on. He continued to joke. Apparently, they don't need George. They might not need Elaine because Julie and I went, "Do you know anything about this?" "I don't know anything about this. And I just talked to Michael Richards the other day, and I don't think he knew anything about it." We'll see. It's probably not a good idea. Let things be. The Academy Awards have decided they will stick with Jimmy Kimmel as host. Good choice. You know, you need a steady hand at the ship, and he gets it done. The Oscars are March 10th. It's the 96th ceremony. We'll see if anybody punches anybody. Just ask Chris Rock to host it. Wouldn't that be amazing? Lot of press about Matt Rife this week. I watched Matt Rife's special. As I've said all week, I like Matt Rife. I like where he's coming from. You hear the butt. The butt's coming. Do you want the butt now? I'm going to make you wait for the butt. There's a butt coming. Vogue talked to Matt Rife about Matt Rife's hotness, and they wrote, "Let's play a game. Does the name Matt Rife ring a bell? If not, you're probably not Gen Z. Time out. I teach a college class. On Monday night, I referenced Matt Rife, and the young ladies in the room, their faces lit up like, ooh, we know Matt Rife. And the dudes were like, who's Matt Rife? And I told the class I was going to share this anecdote. The writer for Vogue said, when I asked some young colleagues if they've heard of the 28-year-old comic, they erupted into swoony gasps. Yes, they chanted at once. He's so hot. So Vogue said to Matt Rife, how you feeling? Rife said, to be completely candid, it's wildly overwhelming. You know, for 10 years, I woke up every day with absolutely nothing to do, nothing, until finally I kicked my butt into being like, okay, you got to create your own work if you're going to sustain yourself. So all this is happening now. It's a lot, but oftentimes I find myself not getting to enjoy the moment as much as I should. Like last night I was on Fallon. I was so tired when it was done. I was like, I got to go to bed, rather than like, I'm calling my mom and all my friends. If I could sleep like a normal human being, I think this would be a lot easier. Fallon tapes at 5:30 in the afternoon, Matt. 5:30. It's over by 6:30. You're 28. Matt Rife, you've gone viral for your crowd work, but there's none of that in your new special. Tell us about the thought process, Matt said. I'm just excited to reach a broader audience with this. At this point on YouTube and social media, I feel like I'm creating things for the people that already follow me, which is wildly important. But also, social media success is not respected because everybody's on social media. People view people who get successful on social media as just lucky, like you happen to get chosen out of all of us. When something lands on Netflix, it's a bit of a more verified platform, so I'm hoping they'll watch it and be like, okay, he does more than crowd work, and maybe I want to go see a live show now, because if you come to my show, I do an hour of material and then maybe like 5 to 10 minutes of crowd work, maybe. Did I mention that I watched Matt Rife's special and you're waiting for a butt? I'm going to make you wait for the butt. Matt, will you continue to do crowd work while you're on tour? Matt said, probably, because it's fun for me. I won't do it when people expect it, though. I've messaged people who are like, I bought tickets to Matt Rife's show. If he doesn't do crowd work or roast me, I want my money back. Really? I'll respond, then do not come. Do not expect that. I like that answer. I don't even know where you're seated. What if you're in the balcony? I probably can't talk to you up there. Not true. I've seen Jimmy Carr do amazing crowd work with people in the upper deck. Study some Jimmy Carr tapes, young man. And if I do it, it means you yelled out and interrupted the show, which is wildly inappropriate. Matt, why do you feel like your fans go so crazy? Matt said, I think it's because so much of my audience is new to comedy. I'm their introduction to a comedy show, so they don't know how to appropriately react. They look at it more like a concert than they do like a play. All right, I'll jump in on the butt here. Remember I told you I saw Matt Rife's special? But it felt more like a concert. Here's my takeaway. It's not funny. like the guy. I want to like the guy. I'm rooting for the guy. This isn't me on Old Man Mountain hating on him. I want to root for him. I was psyched to watch it. And I took a note. 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the special, I hit stop. I'm in a room by myself, and I caught myself saying out loud, this is true. I went, that was bad. He just comes out and is like, hey, it's the crowd. Oh, what's up, bros? We're taping a Netflix special. Can you believe it? No jokes. Where are the jokes? Let's go. Boom, boom. Where's the funny? Not feeling it. Rife talked about that concert analogy, said, like, you want the musician to know you love what they're doing. You love this song, and you love that they hit that note right now, and they're playing the hits. Play the one I want to hear. In my case, crowd work. I think that's usually the instinct they have going to these shows, not realizing that's not what it's supposed to be. So it's a bit of a responsibility bringing a new audience into comedy, but I'm also incredibly lucky that I get to tap into a whole fan base that a lot of comics can't reach. Also in Matt Rife news, coming soon, debuted an exclusive trailer for Don't Suck. Don't Suck will be out February 1st. In Don't Suck, Pete, played by Jamie Kennedy, believes that he's seen it all in his years as a road comic till he meets his new killer opening act, a struggling comic who's a vampire, played by Matt Rife. During their time on the road, Pete fulfills his dream of becoming a comics comic. But what about the vampire? We'll find out. I also watched Trevor Wallace's new special called Pterodactyl, but I was in a good mood, too. Cracked asked Trevor why he called it Pterodactyl, and he said, I wanted a name that was easy to stick in somebody's head. It did absolutely work, because I had prepped this article yesterday, which is what reminded me to watch Trevor Wallace's special, and then I was like, how do you spell pterodactyl? I knew there was a P and a T at the top, and I couldn't figure out the rest of it, but I found it. I wanted a one-word name, because I was thinking about how my friends have told me about specials. Have you seen so-and-so's blank? I know it's the recurring theme, like first or last name of the person, like Tom Segura's Sledgehammer. Did people actually talk like that? Are you guys going, hey, did you watch Tom Segura's Sledgehammer? Or are you saying something along the lines of, hey, did you watch Segura's new special? The latter, right? What are we talking about here? Here, let me ask you some questions. What was Chris Rock's special, the live one? What was it called? What was John Mulaney's special called? You might get that one. What's Jim Gaffigan's newest special called? Mark Maron's, what was his called? How about Andrew Santino? Remember that one was called? What was Bert Kreischer's called from the middle of summer? What was Tom Segura's called? I just told you it. Do you remember from 30 seconds ago? You see where I'm going here? John, stop beating the dead horse. We get it. Okay, I will move on. Trevor Wallace said, it's just a powerful, strong word. I didn't even decide on the name of the special until after I filmed it. It was up against a few other ideas I had, like Birds and the Bees, or Carrot Cake, or Spear Fingers, all from different jokes I really liked. But Pterodactyl just stuck. People won't know how to spell it, but they'll remember it. I got to agree with you there. I just told you that. Yep. As long as they have their voice to text on their remote control, we'll be good. John, you left us hanging on the butt. Oh, yes, I watched Trevor Wallace's special, but I lasted 6.5 minutes, and I wrote down, it's just a guy yelling. There's a style of comedy that I'm just not into, and this was it. John, that first half was so negative. Do you actually like anything? I've been meaning to tell you guys, I finally got around to watching Bert Kreischer's The Machine. I loved it. That is absolutely making the end of the year top funniest things. Right now, I have it between the number 8 stand-up special, which is Jim Jeffries, and number 9, Pete Holmes. I'd put The Machine as funnier than Pete Holmes, and I like Pete Holmes' special a lot, but not as good as Jim Jeffries. But The Machine, solid, absolutely solid watch. On Thursday, mid-morning, I was looking at the podcast charts, and it caught my eye. Trevor Noah is sitting at number 3. This is the Apple Podcast charts. Theo Von is the number 13 podcast in the country. Daniel Tosh's new one at 35. Dan Soder's one that came out of nowhere is at 40. Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee's Bad Friends at 52. No Rogan on the Apple charts because it's a Spotify exclusive, so it doesn't chart on the normal podcast charts. If it did, it would most likely be number 1 overall, if not number 2. On the comedy genre page, Smartless, Theo Von, and Daniel Tosh are 1, 2, and 3. Soder is number 6. I caught my eye that Trevor Noah does not appear on the comedy charts, so I dug, and I see that they have labeled that as a society and culture podcast. So when you create a podcast, you do submit to a category. You can do whatever you want. I could say this podcast is a science podcast, and no one's going to actually fact check that. Society and culture tends to be the category you pick when you're like, I don't know, this podcast is about bottled water. Where does that go? I don't know, society and culture. So they put Trevor there. I guess he didn't want it in comedy. Then there are subgenres in comedy. There are 3 of them: interviews, improv, and stand-up. And for this particular podcast, it doesn't really fit in any of them. It's not an interview show, and I don't do any improv, so I picked stand-up because at least I'm talking about stand-ups. This particular podcast on this morning is number 16 in the stand-up subgenre. The number 1 stand-up podcast is Bad Friends with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. Dana White, the guy that runs UFC, he was on Theo Von's podcast, and he's kind of mad at Peloton. Somewhat quoting Dana White here, I'm going to have to quite clean it up. Dana said, "I posted a video for Trump on my personal social media, and one of our big sponsors called and said, take that down. You know what I said? Go F yourself. You vote for whoever you want to vote for, and I'll vote for whoever I want to vote for. That's how this works. I don't even care who you're voting for. It's none of my business, but F you. Don't ever call me and tell me who to vote for." Theo Von revealed he had the same thing happen to him, with former sponsor Peloton telling him to take down an episode featuring presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Dana wasn't happy with that. He said, "What do they sell? Effing stationary bikes? Peloton sells stationary bikes, and they got a problem with Robert effing Kennedy? F you, Peloton. Who the F are they? Are you effing kidding me? Effing Peloton calling, bitching about Robert Kennedy?" I actually do have that podcast downloaded. I didn't get to it yet, so I'm looking forward to that section. Rami Youssef has announced that all proceeds from his upcoming shows will go directly to an organization helping innocent people affected by the Israel-Hamas war. On Instagram, Rami Youssef said, 100% of the proceeds for the remainder of the Rami Youssef More Feeling stand-up tour will be donated to ANERA, providing humanitarian relief to the people of Gaza. Youssef listed 12 upcoming shows happening between the 30th and February 2nd. According to its website, ANERA's mission is to provide humanitarian assistance and sustainable development to advance the well-being of refugees and other vulnerable communities in Palestine, Lebanon, and Jordan. Back on October 13th, Rami Youssef posted, "This past week has broken the heart of all in my life. We fully condemn the death of civilians. We always have, and now we are witnessing the latest inhumane chapter of a story that desperately needs to end. It serves no one. The people of Gaza do not deserve to pay the price for our failings. If Gaza is erased, history will see we stood by, that we failed to find our humanity." Awkward segue time. Elisa Kudrow must have noticed that everybody else from Friends had posted about Matthew Perry, so either Elisa or her publicist went, we ought to do something here. In her post, Lisa wrote, "Shot the pilot Friends Like Us, got picked up, then immediately we were at the NBC upfronts. Then you suggested we play poker and made it so much fun while we initially bonded. Thank you for that." Colin, Jost, Wanda Sykes, and some SNL alum are the voice stars of a new scripted comedy podcast series. Audible's going to try this again. They keep trying these, and I'm not sure any of them have caught on yet. In this one, Colin Jost stars as Trent Brockett, a sad sack corporate drone vying for a big promotion. But when he discovers that his boss only wants to promote family men, Trent invents a fake wife to try to land the job. Only one problem: the corporate retreat in Aspen is a few days away, and Trent is very, very single. He signs up for a sugar daddy dating app and meets Carla, a smart, beautiful woman. She's played by Wanda Sykes. When they meet in real life, Trent discovers that Carla is a brash, bold, much older woman who is trying to catfish him. As the lie spirals out of control, these two strangers must pretend to be married, raise their fake family, and stay one step ahead of the cutthroat corporate competition. Audible's got a lot of budget, man. This thing also stars Chris Parnell, Neil Patrick Harris, Cecily Strong, Heidi Gardner, Jay Farrell, Michael Urie, and Rachel Dratch. Broadway Video is part of this, and if I remember correctly, Broadway Video is tied to Saturday Night Live. All right, we'll see when that one comes out. Kevin James has a new special. Are you psyched? In the special, he delivers his unfiltered take on parenting, marriage, and getting older. Topics include motivating children to put down their video games and why he doesn't trust technology. No official date yet. And that is your comedy news for today. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Overcast, Pocket Cast, wherever you get your shows. You'll find this one here. Meet you back here tomorrow.